late night special. We got a late night special for sure. Got some things I want to get off my brain. Got some things I want to share with you guys. I know this isn't my usual time to go live, so we'll give it a minute or two, see if some people drip in here and see what's going on. So what's going on, everybody? How we doing? Julio, how we doing? Got some things I want to share with you guys related to the crypto market, related to what's going on right now, related to some of the big news that's out there, some of my thoughts around all of that, some ideas that I'm having just from an investment standpoint. So we're going to kind of dive into it here in just a minute. See if we get some more people popping in here. I know it's late. What's up, Julio? How we doing, man? Okay, we're getting some people to trickle in. So yeah, there's a lot going on right now. So we're going to cover some of the top news stories. One of the big stories that's going on is this SEC versus Coinbase showdown that's happening right now. The case right now, SEC's claim. What is the SEC's claim? Coinbase basically traded unregistered securities. And this has kind of been the SEC's calling card, is basically to come at the whole securities issue, right? They are the SEC. It's interesting because the CFTC does not call Ethereum a security. They want it to be a commodity, and the SEC wants it to be a security. Makes sense. So the SEC's claim is that Coinbase is basically trading in unregistered securities. Even though they're a publicly traded company, even though they've done everything they can, at least from what we're hearing and reading, to get out ahead of this, that's the claim. And there was a June lawsuit last year filed against Coinbase by the SEC. And basically what we have from that is a couple partial victories, I would say, so far, but nothing really set in stone. I mean, it doesn't look like the SEC, in my opinion here, has a great case. But the SEC, small victory here, and then Coinbase has a small victory, because we're still early. We're still early in this whole lawsuit, right? And I think it's a wild goose chase, but of course anybody would say that that's in crypto because, we're biased. But the SEC says, basically the judge for them ruled in favor of proceeding with the case against Coinbase as an unregistered broker. Basically, they're willing to listen more. That was their big win, okay? But as Coinbase's side of things, the court sides with Coinbase, stating it's not acting as a broker in their wallet services. So this was actually, in my opinion, a much bigger win for Coinbase in terms of the news we got out of this so far than the SEC had. Basically, the SEC, their big win was it's proceeding. Like, they can continue on here. So I think this has created a lot of optimism in the markets. Despite all of this nonsense, one of the things we have to realize is there's a lot of noise out there. And to me, this story and the way that the SEC has gone after other people and other companies, especially companies in crypto in the past, a lot of it is noise. A lot of it is, I think, market manipulation. It's there to kind of confuse us, but we have our own brains. We have our own ways of thinking, and we can kind of see a lot of times between the words, right, and things that are said. So I think it spurred a lot of optimism. I mean, look at ETF inflows. We've seen those absolutely skyrocket amid all of the craziness that's happening. So that's a perfect example, right? Look at the money that's coming to Bitcoin. We've set new all-time highs before the halving with all of this noise out there, with all of this nonsense, okay? I think that's a really big point. And if we're thinking about crypto and Bitcoin and altcoins, if we're thinking about all of this in the big picture, what's the big picture, that's being painted right now? The big picture that's being painted right now is this is kind of the natural step, right, in this entire market to become mainstream. This is a step in that process. We have to go through these hurdles. We have to go through these. SEC is going to drag this company through the mud, and etc. Anytime there's change, anytime there's a shakeup, anytime a company or an industry is born and it's new, anytime this happens, doesn't matter if it was with the internet, anything, any new technology, anytime there's a big shakeup like what's happening right now in the finance world and really in the world in general, like this world that we're moving into with technology and AI. And, we know we've been addicted to these things for a little while. It's only going to get deeper than that. Anytime there's this kind of change, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of hurdles, there's a lot of commotion, there's a lot of confusion, right? But the big picture here is BlackRock is selling Bitcoin. The big picture here is institutions are driving this market, whereas 4 or 5 years ago, they were nowhere to be found. They thought we were crazy, right? They thought all the crypto bros were crazy. Now, so that's one story. I want to get into some other things, guys. Go ahead and smash the like button. I've got some other things that I want to hit on, some other big stories that are happening, some ideas, some thoughts that I have. And as you guys know, if you're not new here, we do these pop-up live streams typically in the mornings, but in the evening, you guys are catching me on my research and just kind of digging deep. I think I want to go live more at this time because this is when I'm actually up and kind of doing my homework, if you will. Like I'm working during the day, but this is kind of my fun. Let me see what's going on. How can I make sense of all of this? And a lot of times I'm listening, I'm watching, watching other people, etc. So that was the big first story that I wanted to hit on, the whole SEC versus Coinbase showdown. There's a lot of smoke, a lot of mirrors. I mean, there's a lot of nonsense, okay? The next story I want to hit on is something is happening with Dogecoin. Something's going on with Dogecoin. And, interesting story about Dogecoin as I'm looking at the charts, and it's setting yearly highs, by the way, setting yearly highs. Very quietly, Dogecoin's up 104% in the last month, okay? That can't be ignored. But somehow it's not being talked about enough. And I'm guilty too. Like being, a content creator, I should have saw this. And I kind of saw it, but not as early as I would have liked. I saw it about a week ago, and we started buying Dogecoin at 13 cents, 14 cents. But something was brewing here for a little while. And I think that something has to do with Elon Musk. I think that something has to do with the fact that we haven't had that big retail push just yet in crypto. And when that happens, I think Dogecoin is going to be a leading catalyst. It's certainly going to help bring those people who were in the game back in. And it's certainly going to be a household name that allows new people to say, yeah, I remember crypto and Bitcoin and Dogecoin. That's the retail currency. It's the people's currency. It's the reason why SHIB did what it did. It's the reason why, in my opinion, why Pepe, it gave that whole sector legs. It gave that entire sector this opportunity that we're seeing now play out with meme coins. Without Dogecoin, none of that happens. None of it. People forget that Dogecoin's been around since 2013. It's been here damn near as long as Bitcoin. I mean, almost just as long, right? Don't quote me on that. I'm almost positive. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But the moral of the story here is something's brewing. I think there's going to be some type of news. When it's going to happen, I don't know, right? But I just know one thing. I want to own some Dogecoin in this bull run. I know a lot of people would say, Zach, why didn't you buy it at 3 cents or however low it got? I don't know how low it got. What did it get to? Why didn't you buy it at 6 cents or 5 cents or 7 cents? Because I didn't have the same information that I have now. I don't have the same conviction. I didn't have the same conviction back then as I do now. And yeah, I'm buying it at 13, 14, 15 cents, but I still think there's upside there. And I've done some digging and I feel different about it than when it was at 6 cents. It's just simple, right? And some people will say oh, I missed the boat, I missed the train, because they're only thinking about making a 20, 30, 40x. Sometimes you can have these high conviction plays that you could say, hey, I think this is a really solid 2 to 3x opportunity here, right? And you can build out a nice portion of your portfolio with those type of less risky assets that allows you to then take more chances, take more risks in the small cap space. So Dogecoin for me is something that I've been invested in before. I was invested in 2021. I've traded it twice in 2021 from 1 cent to 7 cents, from 20 cents to like 60 cents. But it's another move that I'm looking to make. Now, another big story that I want to talk about, guys, is Bitcoin Cash. So I'm beginning to change my mind about Bitcoin Cash. And not in the context of holding Bitcoin Cash forever just yet. Like, it's not like I'm looking at Bitcoin Cash like I'm looking at Bitcoin. But I'm starting to open my eyes a little bit more to this idea that Bitcoin, BTC, is going to be, and already is, kind of facing this supply and demand shock. And some capital might flow into Bitcoin Cash, for example. Something else that Bitcoin Cash brings to the table is they do support smart contracts and ecosystem applications. That could be interesting, right, as a potential opportunity. And I know I'm saying that after saying that I didn't like Bitcoin Cash for the last 2-3 years. Well, I've got new information. I'm learning. I'm trying to understand all the ins and outs. And I think, we're seeing Bitcoin Cash kind of go against the grain right now. It's up like 8%, and the rest of the market's pretty much red. It's interesting. I would encourage you to look into it. I think it could potentially be a decent investment. I'm not saying I want to hold Bitcoin Cash, but I'm treating it as an altcoin, as an alternative to Bitcoin, kind of just as a, kind of like a younger brother of Bitcoin, maybe in this bull run a little bit, okay? Next up, I want to talk about is SUI. SUI, S-U-I, SUI. This is very interesting to me, and I've been buying this for a little while. I think it has some huge potential, and I'm going to give you guys a few reasons why. By the way, if you guys are getting value, let me know in the comment section. Smash the like button, all that fun stuff. So yeah, SUI is a layer 1 blockchain built on this Move language. This is totally new, okay? Totally new language model that's also being used by Aptos. And SUI and Aptos were both founded or born out of Diem, the blockchain that Facebook was going to build out for a really long time. For whatever reason, I don't know why that fell through, but I speculate because they're building like decentralized ecosystems within a centralized company. So basically, moral of the story is Aptos and SUI are born, and they have all these, Facebook, Meta, former investors that were interested in investing in this side of the business, etc. So they have a lot of VC money. They also have some interesting technology. There's a lot of activity happening on SUI and Aptos. But I really like SUI as a potential layer 1. People forget that, if we look back on Solana back in 2021, and yes, we get 100Xs all the time with meme coins. We get 100Xs all the time with these new protocols. But people forget that Solana did a 200X last cycle. A 200X. Solana did a 200X. That's something that I'm looking for. Yes, like when we say, what's the next Solana? I'm going to place some bets on that bet. I'm going to place some bets on, what could potentially be the next Solana. And I think SUI and Aptos are two interesting candidates that could have, we'll say, Solana-like runs, right? So we'll see on that. Another story that I thought was interesting, I talked about this in some videos today. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you're ready for these pop-up live streams. Obviously, I put a bunch of YouTube shorts out there, videos, etc. But Mantle last night, so MNT, Mantle, it's an Ethereum layer 2. It's an Ethereum layer 2. Mantle, this thing freaking flew, and I mean flew out of nowhere, okay? And I was on a Twitter space late last night, and I found out that what happened was somebody put $1 billion into Mantle, MNT, in the wee hours of the morning last night. It was like 2:30 a.m. my time, like New York time. And that's insane. $1 billion. $1 billion. So it pumped the price. We actually made a little short-term swing trade on it, so that was awesome. And we took our profits and got out. But now I'm looking at it as potentially, because I knew it would kind of pull back eventually after it pumped, after the $1 billion was injected. Now I'm going to look at it as potentially something I want to maybe buy and hold, because what does this, I would assume, billionaire know that we don't, right? If you guys look at the chart, he literally took the price from 94 cents to $1.27, it looks like, literally on one candle, on one freaking candle. This was here, I'll show you. This was literally the candle last night that we were watching. Here's the time. Here we go. Yeah, it was like 1:10 in the morning. So it happened between like 1 and 1:30 a.m. This is Mantle, MNT. And this was one person buying, okay? And this is always something that is, wait a minute, like what happened there, right? Like what's going on with this protocol? It's giving me reason to kind of look into it. So I'm just going to put that out there for you guys. MNT, Mantle. If you guys want to join me in starting to kind of dive into it and see what's what. It's an Ethereum layer 2, we know that much. But yeah, why would somebody, it was a spot buy of $1 billion. That is incredible. Literally, again, guys, it took the price from 93 cents, it looks like, to $1.27 in one buy. So that's interesting. And then also we had some huge news today, huge news coming out of the AI crypto sector. So I made a full video about this, but this token merger is a big freaking deal. This token merger is huge. It's scheduled for community vote on April 2nd. And the idea here, or the plan here, is for 3 major AI companies to merge. Yep, exactly. Legacy is all over it. It's SingularityNet, Ocean Protocol, and Fetch AI. And they are set to form what's called ASI. It's going to be a new crypto. Now, interestingly enough, this valuation would put it as the largest AI crypto in the AI crypto sector, obviously. I mean, you're talking about a couple cryptos, Fetch AI and SingularityNet alone represent almost right around 4 billion, 4.5 billion. Okay, so this new crypto, if it goes through, Artificial Super Intelligence Alliance. Artificial Super Intelligence Alliance, ASI. Okay, this token is not out yet, but if this is all approved by all 3 communities, it means SingularityNet's AGIX, Fetch AI's FET, F-E-T, and Ocean Protocol's Ocean will literally be all merging into one token. This is something that's interesting, obviously for AI, obviously for this sector, but it's interesting in the bigger picture, right? It's big. It's bigger than just this, because this is going to happen a lot. This whole thing of mergers and acquisitions, what we see in the real world is this play out all the time. I mean, every sector has just been swallowed up by somebody. I mean, look at Walmart, right? Walmart has, how many people have they put out of business, or how many people have they bought, right? How many people have merged with them, etc. So the same thing's going to happen in crypto. The same thing's going to happen in Web3 as this space matures, as the market cap grows of the overall market cap, and this altcoin space gets bigger and bigger and bigger. As companies get bigger and bigger and bigger, there's going to be a lot more mergers and acquisitions. So it's just something from a macro standpoint, I think, for us to kind of focus in on and be ready for. And when that sort of thing happens, like, make sure we take them serious and look into it, because this is an opportunity to basically get 3 companies kind of in an ETF. Like, you're looking at what 3 really successful AI companies built, SingularityNet, Fetch, and Ocean, and it's all combining into one. So you're kind of getting a basket, if you will, right, of AI cryptos, which is interesting. So I would keep an eye on that because this is going to be something to watch from a macro, but it's also going to be big for the AI sector for sure. So those are just some of the top stories, guys, that I wanted to hit on in the live stream. Just a quick little pop-up live. Make sure you guys do subscribe for more content like this. And I'm going to get to bed, but I just had some things on my mind, wanted to pop up here and, you know, do one of these with you guys. So most of the time they're longer than this. Most of the time we do them for an hour, 2 hours or whatever. But I just wanted to pop on here, do this quick one, give you guys some knowledge and get out. Let me know if you like it. Drop your comment, please. I want to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe, all that good stuff. See you guys.